Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island area fishing report for Saturday, December the 24th. It's Christmas tomorrow. We appreciate all of you, but we still wanted to be able to put a little bit of information that might help you put a few more fish in the boat if you're going to brave the waters today. It's a little cold out there. Be safe, but here's what the guys have to say that might help you a little bit. Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island area fishing report for Saturday, December the 24th. We are joined by our Mercury Pro staffer, Tom Ott. What's happening on Guntersville?
Man, Dano, right now, while you got visions of Mercury motors dancing in your head, I mean, it might be a time just to sit down by the fire and, take a load off and let the fish rest a little bit. But, things have been pretty tough out there. Obviously, we've had a lot of weather coming through. Got a big cold front right now. That's gonna hamper things, obviously. But there's still some fish being caught. There's not a lot of guys out there on the water, but there's some hardcore fellas that are catching some nice stringers right now. But just not a whole lot of fish being caught. That's for sure. That can only get better. The longer we stabilize and get through this little deal. I think this is going to make a good crappie bite in the coming week. Not that we really need a better one, but I think it's certainly going to help.
Well, I know those crappie are stacked up around the bridge pilings and some of those hard, vertical surfaces. Vertically jigging, that kind of stuff is good. But what are the bass doing? How are they responding to this weather?
Man, I tell you, most of them are just really hunkering down in that grass. Probably the 5 to 8 foot range is the best depth right now. And looking at those bigger bays, but the fish are definitely, they want to be near some deeper water, but deep water on Guntersville is pretty relative. So, I always consider 8 to 10 foot pretty deep. But at any rate, those are where those fish are hanging. And like I said, they're the bigger fish tend to be biting right now. But again, it's just hard to get a group going. That's and I'm sure that has to do with a lot of the, the pressure issues that we're getting as far as weather goes. But it's just gonna increase and get better and better as it moves along. As the longer this cold front stays with us, the more stable things become, the better the bite's going to get, because it hasn't been bad.
This time of the year, weather starts to cool down. I want to go a little bit bigger in my presentations. Maybe a big football jig with a big soft, big fork trailer, a rattle trap fished really slowly, kind of pulsed on the bottom. Is that kind of stuff you're seeing?
Absolutely. A 3/4, it's hard to beat a 3/4 trap right now, just kind of working it slowly through those edges of the grass. And even some of your flat sides, your square bills, those are really producing. And you can crawl those through that grass as well, especially those big eelgrass clumps. There's a lot of hydrilla that's still around. As it's dying out, but there's still hydrilla out there. But the eelgrass, because it's everywhere, you kind of got to target that. But grass or rock as well. Some of the bluff areas, where it kind of transitions from the deep to shallow, you're going to find some fish holding up there. So anywhere you see bait, maybe we get a little bit of shad kill out of this cold weather. Who knows?
Our Mercury Pro staffer, Tom Ott, talking about Guntersville. Have a great Christmas tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Merry Christmas edition of the Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, December the 24th. We're joined by our good friend, Gentry Gordy, down there at Lake Jordan and Lake Martin. We're going to talk fishing down there. Gentry, what are you expecting to see out of there if I'm going to go drop that Falcon boat Mercury motor in the water? What do I want to do in this cold weather?
I know I'm going to find some of those shallower points. There's not a lot of them on Jordan like you see at Lay and places like that, Neely. But, man, they're starting to come alive on a red rattle trap. It seems earlier in the year, but they're eating it. And it's a fun bite. You can also go, you run upriver, get on your deep walls. The jig bite's starting to pick up a little bit more. But you're going to have to start crawling stuff with this water temperature dropping like it has. Even a bumpy rattle trap on the bottom. I like a brim-colored chatterbait as well. But it's you almost fish it as slow as a Texas rig.
So you're kind of pulsing those baits right now. The moving baits, you're kind of pulsing them, lift and fall, let them look like a dying shad.
Absolutely, chatterbait, your rattle traps, and it's slow, it's methodical, but man, when they hit it, they drive it home.
Oh, that's a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, it's a little early in the year for the red, but guess what? Crawdads get eaten. All right, Let's turn attention. I'm going to go drop that Mercury motor, power it on, and run that Falcon all over Lake Martin. What do I want to
do? Martin's a little bit different. Cold, muddy water, as much as it's dropped, as much as it's going to drop, is a little tough, but you're your early morning, your clear water, still on the jerk bait. And with that water temperature falling, your jerk bait's going to probably last a little bit longer, throughout the morning. But your crankbait bite is really fixing to pick up on martin. Spotted bass, no matter how fast you reel that crankbait, they destroy it.
Yeah, spots are fun on those shallow bars and some of that red clay down there, I'm sure. Is it jig time yet?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely jig time, but it's slow. You can easily overfish that jig too fast and not get bit. When you think you're calling it slow enough, you got to slow it down some more. But they'll definitely eat it.
Well, Gentry, as always, man, thanks for the tips. I might go put my Falcon Mercury down there at Lake Martin. It feels like home.
Call me. We'll go.
Have a Merry Christmas.
You too, guys. Appreciate it.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, December the 24th. It's Christmas Eve, and we're joined by our Falcon Mercury Pro Staffer. What's going on at Weiss Lake right now, Lee? I know it's cold.
It's like the song says, it's cold outside. It's the earlier in the week it's been okay. We've for the crappie end of it, we've been catching some fish. They slowed the current down a little bit, so we're able to get back out on those river ledges, dropping live bait down and some of those heavier Bobby Garland jigs out there in some of the brush piles and stumps and catching some better fish. We're catching some big white crappie out there. Got a little more size to them. But, it's one of those deals. Hey, we got hit pretty hard. I don't want to be out there today. It's one of those deals that it's just so cold. It's just, brighter days are ahead. So it's one of those things. Let's wait it out through the week, jump back on them next week, and let's start again. But it's just this is some of that cold out there right now that, you could really get in a mess pretty quick.
So if a guy was going to go bass fishing on Weiss right now, is he going to have to fire up his Pro XS and go run around a whole bunch, or is it find one spot and hunker down?
Well, I'll tell you what, like it's been the last few weeks, make some runs. But right now with this cold that we've had to come in, you're not going to run around a whole bunch. Unless you got you a top or some heaters or climbing a rod locker ball, let someone else drive. But it's, just try to find some places out of the. Don't think you're going to spend a lot of time out on that river. I think it's getting back in some of these creeks, getting behind some of these big pine, points that kind of block that wind off of you. And that's going to be the key to it. Find some places that you can fish and you'll be able to stand it. That's going to be the key this weekend. If you just got to get out there and get on that water, better some places where at least you can survive.
Talk Neely Henry for me real quick. If I'm going to go fire up that Mercury, I'm going to go play there. What am I going to look for?
Neely, I think it's getting in some of these little tight little pockets, right off that river, staying close to the river, but just getting maybe come inside, throw out, something like that. I think it's still a jerk bait. Jerk bait bite's been good here the last couple of weeks. It's really with this water temperature dropping, it's turning on. Square bill, jerk, jerk bait, something like that. I don't think they're going to come up on a buzz bait or nothing anytime soon. So that's a helpful hint.
Well, Lee, man, as always, we appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and Laura, and we'll talk to you again in time for the new year.
All right, Merry Christmas. We're just to get through this little cold snap, we'll get back on it.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, December the 24th. We're joined with Josh Herron, our good friend, our Bass Cat Mercury Pro Staffer from down there in the southern end of the state, talking about Logan Martin and Lay Lake. Josh, what's going on down there at Logan Martin?
And it is cold. It is blowing. It's raining. You need to snuggle up with some eggnog. The fishing is okay, but it's not a good time right now.
No. I don't know if you can put enough rain gear on to get comfortable, can you?
Man, you can. The only problem is this time of the year you can get in trouble in a hurry. If anybody's got a Stormore suit, that's what I would recommend. At least if you fall in, you'll float.
That's true. All right, what is the bite right now on?
But no, man. Crankbait bite's coming along. Fish are starting to kind of get up there and do their deal. I wouldn't recommend anything that moves very quickly at all outside of that. Jerk baits are still playing really good, but you're starting to get into that kind of really long pauses with it. Little fish head spins, underspins. I mean, right now is a really good time to go to Mickey fishing if you can stand it. At least you can kind of get ill and wander around and chase them with a trolling motor.
Is Lay kind of the same? Everything's kind of stagnant. It's kind of fish or maybe on vertical hard stuff. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, it's the same thing, man. The whole coast is right now. These fish have got hit with a cold front like they ain't seen at all. So everything's kind of white. Everything's kind of cold. We got a lot of watercolor right now anyway. Watercolor and dirty water cools off a whole lot faster. Wind doesn't help much at all. So if you're going to get out right now, take a buddy heater, lots of hot hands, and try to bear it. Get somewhere where you can fish and enjoy a few hours until you can't feel anything, then take it to the house.
It's probably best right now to kind of wait till the afternoon when it warms up just a little bit and maybe look for some rocks out there, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't be going and chasing nothing at daylight right now. How about this? You can leave the spooks at the house.
Yeah, there you go. Lighten the weights, lighten the load in the boat a little bit. I know that Bass Cat Mercury will fly when you get that stuff out of there. Josh, man, Merry Christmas to you and Aaron and the family, and we'll talk to you again soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island area fishing report for Saturday, December the 24th. Enjoy the time tomorrow, opening presents and spending time with friends and family. Merry Christmas from all of us at Bucks Island. We appreciate all of you, and we'll talk to you again next week.